Hi everyone and welcome to the video course associated with the HashiCorp Certified Terraform Authoring and Operations Professional Certification. My name is Zeel and I am going to be an instructor throughout this course. So nowadays in the industry, infrastructure as code has become quite popular, and in fact if you go to most of the medium to large scale organization, you will see IAC has been implemented here. Now, when we discuss about infrastructure as code, Terraform has become one of the de facto standard tools that most of the organizations are using. Now, due to its immense popularity, HashiCorp has released in total of 2 certifications related to Terraform. One is the associate level one, second one is the professional one. Now, when we discuss about the associate level certification, again this is a great certification if you are new to infrastructure as code or are new to Terraform, and it gives you great set of core knowledge about Terraform and its associated features. So when we discuss about the Terraform Associate certification, primarily when you look into the questions that are asked in the exams, they are primarily based on MCQ. So you have a question with multiple set of options, you select the option that is right, and if you have selected enough right options, you clear the exams. Now, one of the shortcomings that you will see associated with Terraform Associate is that first, things are not really discussed in depth, and that is expected because this is a associate level certification. So the aim here is to understand the core features of Terraform here. And the second challenge that most of the candidates face is that when they are certified and when they start to work in organization using Terraform, there is a little bit of learning curve and difficulty primarily because of lack of hands-on experience with Terraform. So in order to overcome this, and for the users who wants to understand Terraform in more depth, HashiCorp has released the professional level certification as well. Now, at a high level overview, the Terraform Professional Certification exam, it assesses both the advanced configuration authoring and deep understanding of the Terraform workflow. Now, when we compare the associate level exam and the professional level exam, it is not a small update. I would say it is a major upgrade, not only in terms of level of difficulty of the exams, but also the depth of topics that you need to understand to be prepared for the professional exams. Now, one of the great benefits that I really like about the professional level exam is that it is completely lab based. Now, when we discuss about the associate, it was a MCQ base. Whenever you have a MCQ based exams, the memorization power plays a very important role than the actual experience and practical working. However, in lab based exams, your hands-on experience proves to be most important. Now, when we discuss about lab-based exams, Terraform Professional is a 4-hour intensive lab-based exams where you will be presented with multiple scenarios, multiple challenges that you need to solve. So, what will generally happen is you have to connect to a remote workstation, and in that remote workstation, there will be certain challenges that will be presented to you. You have to understand the challenge and you have to implement the practical solution in order to overcome this. Now, these challenges can be based on wide variety of topics. It can be based on modules, it can be based on data sources, it can be performance related, security related issues and so on. So again, it depends upon the curriculum that is part of the official exam blueprint, based on which you will be presented the challenges accordingly. Now, one of the first assumption that comes is that, hey, it is a 4-hour exam. It is quite good enough to complete all of the practical challenges, and trust me, it is not. The challenges are designed in a way that it is going to take time and it will really test your hands-on experience with Terraform and also understanding about its features from practical point of view. So 4 hours also, if you do not really have a very intense hands-on experience, the 4 hour might not be enough for you to complete all of the challenges. And this is where this course comes into picture, where we discuss about all of the topics that are part of the exam, but we also have many challenges that are part of this course that you can practice in order to ensure that you have a great hands-on experience. So in short, if you complete the course practically and you complete the challenges, you will be able to clear the exams and you will have a great understanding about Terraform in depth. Now, discussing about what exactly does this course cover, the primary aim of this course is to cover all of the topics that are part of the official exam blueprint. So let's say tomorrow HashiCorp decides to update the exam blueprint and add few more topics. So the course will be updated accordingly to make sure that it is always aligned to the latest exam blueprint. Now, one of the important areas that you have to keep a note is that since this is a professional level certification, base Terraform knowledge is a prerequisite here. So generally we recommend that you complete the Terraform associate level course that we have. Again, that is a detailed course which discusses about the Terraform and its associated core concepts practically in great detail. However, that is not always recommended. If you have worked with Terraform as well, that should also be good enough for you to start the professional level course. So let's do one thing before we proceed further. Let's quickly look into the official exam blueprint to understand on how this certification exam is structured. Now currently I am into the HashiCorp page related to certifications that they have under the infrastructure automation category. And if you look here, the first one is the Terraform Associate certification. So if you are new to Terraform, this is the certification that you should be aiming for. And the next one is the Terraform professional level certification. So here again the base Terraform knowledge is a prerequisite, and if you are aiming to learn Terraform in great detail, this is the certification that you should be aiming for. Now, when you look into this specific certification, there are certain prerequisites from HashiCorp side. First one is that they recommend that you have the Terraform Associate certification. Again, this is recommended, this is not mandatory. If you have equivalent knowledge, that is perfectly fine. Along with that, second important area here is Linux skills. Now, as we were discussing that this is a lab-based exams where you have to connect to a remote workstation that will be presented to you and solve all of the challenges. So that remote workstation will be based on Linux, and this is the reason why your basic Linux skills related to CLI is quite important here. Along with that, they also recommend familiarity with YAML, JSON, HCL and CSV format because you might see some questions where you have to work on these files. Anyways, in the course, we have discussed about formats like CSV format, JSON. So this should not be much of an issue. Now that we understand prerequisites at a very high level overview, I also wanted to show you the exam objectives. Now, exam is divided into primarily 6 domains. This is the first domain, manage resource lifecycle. Develop and troubleshoot dynamic configuration, again a very interesting domain. Then you have the Terraform workflows. The most important domain here is the Terraform modules. This again we go quite in depth as part of this course and also quite important from exam perspective. Then you have the Terraform provider. Then you have the HCP Terraform, which is the Terraform cloud. This is the domain where you will have the MCQ based questions. And all other domains here, you will get questions as part of the challenges that you will have to solve. Now, one more thing that I wanted to share, again, we'll be discussing about all of this in detail at a later part of the course. So if you look into the exam details, it is a 4-hour exam which is online proctored. Again, as this is a professional level certification, the exam is quite challenging. So unless and until you do not practice things enough, it will be difficult to clear the exams. And this is where again our course comes into picture. So if you complete the course, you complete all of the labs, you practice and practice again. And that is the key on clearing the professional level exams of HashiCorp. Now the next pointer that we need to keep a note is related to the base course structure. Now again our course is divided into 6 primary domains which collaborates with the actual domains of the exams. So these are the 6 domains that we just saw as part of the exam blueprint. You will see 6 domains in the course as well. Each domain has its associated set of videos here. Along with that, we have 2 more extra domains here. Domain 7 is the AWS integration practicals. We'll be discussing about this in just a moment. And domain 8 is one of the favorite ones for all of our students, which is the exam preparation section. So first, let's go ahead and quickly explore the domain 8, post which we'll be discussing about domain 7. Now, as we are discussing at the end of the course, we have a dedicated exam preparation section that is available to help you get prepared for the exams. Many a times question that comes is, hey Zeel, from the exam blueprint I understand all of the topic, but how do I know I am actually prepared for the exam? Because the professional level exam is challenging. So this is what the section is going to be all about. Now in this section, we also orient on how exactly the exam environment is going to look like. So it becomes much more easier when you're sitting for the exams. Along with that, we have wide variety of challenges that are available as part of the exam preparation section that you need to solve, and that will help you assess whether you are prepared for the exams or not. Along with that, we also have practice tests that are available as part of the course as well. Now, one important part that you need to keep a note of is that when we discuss about Terraform, you generally work with a specific set of provider. Now, as we're discussing that since it is a lab-based exams and there will be multiple challenges that will be made available, question that comes is what is the provider that is going to be used for these set of challenges? For example, let's say that you have a code and code is not really getting deployed to a production environment. There are some issues with the code and you have to fix it. So the question that comes is the production environment is based on which provider? And this is where the next slide comes into picture, which states that the lab-based challenges in these professional exams are based on a specific cloud provider. Now, when the exam has been initially launched, there is only one cloud provider that is supported, which is AWS. So all of the challenges that you will see as part of the exams will be based on the AWS cloud provider. It is expected that in the near future, you will have the support of other cloud providers as well, for example, Azure and GCP. But at this stage, this is the one that is available. In fact, let me also quickly show you this so that we are well versed with this. So when you discuss about the authoring and operations professional, you see at this stage, you have experience using Terraform AWS provider in production environment. And the cloud provider also it is showing AWS. In the near future, they'll support other cloud providers. So make sure to keep yourself updated with the latest certification page updates. Now, when a candidate who is working with other providers like Azure or GCP, when he hears that the exam is launched with the AWS cloud provider, the question that comes is this course good enough for me if I'm coming from a different provider background? Will I understand the practicals, or you're going to discuss about the Terraform integration with AWS provider in detail, which I might not understand? And this is where the next point comes into picture, which states that we have intentionally separated deep AWS related topics in a separate section called as AWS integrations. So if you see in the domain 7 AWS integration practicals, this is where all of the deep AWS topics that you should know before you sit for the exams are present here. And the other sections over here, we have kept it very generic as much as possible. So for other sections, we use very basic set of AWS services. For example, AWS user, a virtual machine, a security group, which is a firewall rule, and so on, to demonstrate all of the important Terraform concepts. So in case if you have completed a Terraform associate level course, this course is going to be very similar to that in terms of the services that we use to demonstrate the concepts. Now for Terraform associate level course, we have so many users from Azure background, GCP background who have managed to complete the course and also clear the certification with great score, primarily because we use very generic services in AWS to demonstrate, so that most of the users will be able to understand it and learn Terraform accordingly. Now, one more question that generally comes is that, okay, after a year, HashiCorp releases support for say Azure. Now, will the certification exam be completely different for Azure cloud provider? And the answer is no. The basic exam blueprint is going to remain the same. It's just that the practical lab-based exams will be based on Azure. So you might have to deploy resources in Azure. You might have to import the resources from Azure, fix some production level issues as part of the challenge and so on. However, these main set of concepts, for example, use module in configuration, refactoring the module, everything will remain to be the same. Only the practical part of implementation will change based on the cloud provider that HashiCorp releases support for. Alright, so even if you are from a different cloud provider, you can still complete the domain 1, domain 2, domain 3, domain 4 and domain 6. These domains will remain to be the same. There will be some change related to the domain 5 where we discuss in detail about the Terraform provider that is supported. As of now, it is AWS, and domain 7, which is the AWS integration practicals. Now, as far as this course is concerned, we'll go ahead and we'll stick with the AWS as the cloud provider only here. Now, before we conclude, a short introduction about me. I primarily work as a DevSecOps engineer into the area of defensive security, and teaching has been one of my passions since a long time. So even before I started with online video courses, I used to go across multiple colleges in India and teach about very interesting topics like wireless security, cloud, network security, and so on. And when it comes to the online presence, in total, I have around 16 courses with more than 400,000 students as of now. Now, since teaching has been one of my passions, all of the video courses that we have launched till now, all of them are quite detailed and we never compromise on the quality. We take time, we understand things in detail, we understand things practically, and we also look into what issues and challenges that you might face in real world environment to help you get prepared. And this is the reason why even if you look into our other courses, they are quite detailed, they are lengthy, but it is going to be worth it. You will learn a lot of things in detail which will help you when you start working in production environments. Now, discussing about one of the most important area here, yes, I am HashiCorp certified against the Terraform professional certification exam, and I would say this is one of my favorite lab-based exams, primarily because not only it is challenging, you will need a very thorough hands-on experience if you want to really clear it, and at the end, it is really worth it. Along with that, I am also certified against HashiCorp certifications based on Vault and Consul Associate. Now, discussing about the other certifications, I am certified against AWS Advanced Networking Specialty, Security Specialty, DevOps Engineer Professional, Solutions Architect Professional. In fact, we have a dedicated video courses associated with each of the certifications as well. Along with that, I am also a Red Hat Certified Architect, and I have 13 other more certifications like the Certified Ethical Hacker and others. So, in free time, I also work as a part-time security consultant, primarily into the cloud security area. So that's a very high level overview about what this course is going to be all about. I am very excited for this course and I hope you are too.